What's up, peeps? Welcome to this week's edition of the AEW Insider on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benz, and welcome. All right, if you listen to the podcast, some stuff that was on the podcast will be on here, but there's a bunch of new stuff, don't worry. The way I broke it down, say we're going to do AEW first. All the new stuff I have, I will say first, and some of the stuff in the podcast, I'll say at the end. Same thing with WWE, new first, at the end, what have you. This is for people who don't listen to podcasts or don't watch YouTube and vice versa. So let's get to this week's news. Ex-TNA champion, Impact champion Eli Drake revealed that he almost signed with AEW. He said offers were made, they went back and forth, but in the end, they just couldn't come to an agreement. So he did sign with NWA. That really, really sucks, but AEW can't have everybody, neither can WWE, but Eli Drake would have been a great addition to that roster if you do ask me, to be honest. It has been confirmed that AEW, the crew, was scanned last week. As I reported and I showed the picture, they had the head model of MJF. We didn't know if it was for video games or toys, but it was confirmed that it actually is for a video game. So that is so amazing. I cannot wait to play the AEW video game. And from that render they showed MJF, it looked just like him. AEW champ Jericho let it slip that his tag team partners will be LAX on their TNT premiere when they go live on TV. I've been saying this for months, even before you seen that they were with AEW last pay-per-view. He said that he was backstage cutting a bunch of promos with them behind the scenes. Why would he be cutting promos with them unless he's going to have a match? So on the first night of AEW on TNT, the main event will be Kenny Omega and the Bucks versus Chris Jericho and LAX. Mark my words. It has come to light that Jericho is the one who actually requested Aubrey Edwards, the female referee, to referee his world title match. He feels that she is the best referee on the roster. Speaking of Jericho, we all know by now that the AEW title was legit stolen. Something happened with an Uber, luggage mix-up, a Longhorn Steakhouse, what have you, and Jericho lost it. Thank God the Tallahassee police found it, and now it's safe and sound. Jericho has it back. AEW did have a backup, of course, but it's a good thing they didn't have to use it so soon. Later that day, it was revealed on Twitter that the championship was turned into police headquarters, and a person said they found it on the side of the road. The value of the AEW championship is close to $30,000. That's insane. Then BodySlam.net reported that it was a work the whole time, that it was a part of the storyline, and now it's going to get scrapped because the Tallahassee police didn't play kayfabe and they let the cat out of the bag. But then the guy who found the title on the side of the road, his name is Frank Price, he went online and he claims that he was driving home from his 41st birthday. He seen the belt and assumed it was a replica. He took it home, he put it on Craigslist, Lost and Founds, and he got tons of messages and replies, and people told him what it was. So then he went and handed it in to the cops, and they gave him a $200 reward. So who knows what's going on, but the fucking story is absolutely insane. And then Cody Rhodes wanted to get in on a little bit of the AEW lost title action. Since Jericho went to Longhorn Steakhouse, Cody said that he prefers the Outback Steakhouse. Then Arby's, the restaurant, wanted to get into the joke. Arby's said, "Hey Jericho, heard some Judas stole your championship belt. We got plenty of cardboard. Want a new one?" Then Longhorn Steakhouse, since they were involved and Jericho was going there, they took to Twitter and they said, "We take the safety of our guest property seriously and are doing everything we can to help the local authorities in their efforts." So that's insane. That's, of course, before it got recovered, what have you. But between the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a Popeyes and this shit now, all these restaurants are getting involved on Twitter to get into the mix, and whoever is running their accounts definitely graduated from the College of Ebonics, because it's like it's not even a real person or a professional writing this shit. It's crazy. All right. The ex-WWE security guard for Million Dollar Man, Virgil, took to social media and he said Chris Jericho should have hired him to protect the AEW title. I say, what, Virgil? From what we know right now, he would have sold that thing for a crack rock in 2.3 seconds. Shame on you. Also, according to Jericho, Pac and Omega were not happy with their match at All Out because it was cut short due to time restriction. And that's why I said from the door, that match should have been way later on the card. Even though it could get cut then, you have enough room, you know what you're working with, and you can make it really, really good. So, I mean, that's what you get. They had a, third fucking match or second match on the main card? It was ridiculous. Jericho also said he cannot wait to work with Orange Cassidy. Freshly squeezed, baby. At All Out, there was a backstage brawl between two female wrestlers. One of them was my baby Bea Priestley, and the other was Sadie Gibbs. After the Battle Royal match, Gibbs swung on Priestley backstage, and the two had to be broken up. Matt Jackson intervened, and he tried to smooth things over. During when the fight happened, though, months back at the last pay-per-view, Bea Priestley hit Britt Baker, another wrestler, and gave her a concussion. So when Sadie and Brie got into it at the last pay-per-view, Britt Baker, from what I hear, actually snuck Bea Priestley and got her receipt for giving her a concussion. Fucking insane. I love it. And you know they're going to get turned into storylines. All Out was down 20% from their last pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. Their ticket sales and buys are dropping little by little so far. They'll pick up again, though, in October. We already know that. AEW announced their first match for their upcoming pay-per-view on Full Gear on November 7th. The match is the one we've been waiting for. It will be Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. So we get to see that. And then also, and that was supposed to actually be on their first live event, but now I hear it's on a pay-per-view. Who knows? But definitely, Cody Rhodes will be fighting Chris Jericho for his world title at Full Gear on November the 9th. And that might be because Cody twittered at him and Jericho's a little pissed off. We got to keep watching and see. It has also been revealed that Tony Schiavone is not just a producer like they said in the past. Tony Khan gave an interview like he does after the last pay-per-view, and he said he loves Tony producing. He's still going to do the control room, but he wants to switch up the commentary team. They're on live TV and on pay-per-views. So on live TV, it could be Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and a masked announcer, and then on pay-per-view, Tony Schiavone be behind the scenes. He said he's going to do it, so that's fucking awesome. And like I always say, I hope they really get Mike Tenay to join because he's my favorite. Ex-WWE champ CM Punk took to Twitter to give his thoughts on Starcast 3, his appearance. This is what he had to say. He tweeted out to Conrad, the guy who owns and runs Starcast, "Thanks to your entire team and everyone who helped make my appearance at Starcast the best I've ever been a part of. Most of all, thanks to everyone who came through to say hi. I appreciate you all." That's really nice. All right, let's get on to some WWE news. Ronda Rousey has been taken off the active roster. That is pretty interesting, honestly. We heard she wanted to go make babies. She had a contract for a year with WWE. She was supposed to come back. Everybody wants a four-horsewoman versus four-horsewoman match. But she is taken off the roster right now, so we'll see what happens. SportsCenter has released two great commercials. They do star the man Becky Lynch. The one I seen at the coffee shop is very funny. You got to check it out. Eric Bischoff is already getting backstage heat. As we know, he's not really in charge of SmackDown like he was supposed to be, and like Heyman is in charge of Raw backstage. It has been revealed that Bischoff is more of a go-between between Fox and WWE, and people are pissed at him because they already fucked up big time. He hired a former Sons of Anarchy writer whose name is Stevie Long. Well, Mr. Long got caught sleeping backstage his first day of his writing job by none other than legend Michael P. Hayes, so people are pissed. 3 superstars on Raw this week were able to do their own promos. Those 3 were Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Mysterio. All their promos on Raw were unscripted for once. They gave them a couple things to remember, and they went out there and did it solo. Bayley's I could tell because she's just horrible, and she did suck Monday. So don't let her do it again, please. Well, Renee Young, we got some bad news. Is finally getting pulled off of Monday Night Raw. And I think that really, really sucks because everybody's been giving her a bunch of shit, blah, blah, blah. Renee Young's also, and you definitely need a female's point of view on the announcers team with how prevalent the females are right now in wrestling. I think she was awesome on Talking Smack also. That show was my favorite. But there is some good news. Fox Sports loves Renee Young, and they want her to host the weekly WWE studio show on Fox Sports 1, which will air each Tuesday night. The Observer described the studio show as a weekly WWE version of their UFC Tonight show. So that's going to be awesome. KO revealed why he asked Stone Cold permission to use his stunner. This is what he had to say about it. I felt like everybody was doing power bombs left and right, and I wanted to try something else. One day it occurred to me that no one does the stunner as a finishing move, but to me, it's always been the best move. So I just went to Steve one day, and when he was here, and I asked him, I can't believe nobody's asked me this before, but of course, he did ask Steve Austin. Steve Austin replied, I can't believe nobody's even came and asked me this before, but of course you can use it. Do whatever you want with it. And KO said that he asked Steve Austin out of respect for the people who've come before him. I would never want to do it without his approval. He gave me the approval, and it's working for me. So I have no intention of stopping or no intention of renaming it either. It's the stunner, and it always will be the stunner. That's very, very cool. KO's the man, that guy's fucking awesome. We all know by now that ex-UFC and current WWE star Matt Riddle is not afraid to bite his tongue. He says whatever the fuck is on his mind. Well, he went on Twitter and he made a little video and he's pissed. His coworkers did not give him a ride to work. So he said, when none of your coworkers like you because you can't get a ride to work? And then he went and called them pieces of trash, which is fucking insane. His NXT co-worker and ex-NXT champ, Thomas Ciampa, responded, the boys shall police themselves, a.k.a. go fuck yourself. To me, it means if you're a douche, you're going to be treated as such. They're the judge and jury back there, and go fuck yourself. So, that's pretty insane. Fans online are still accusing Roman Reigns and the WWE for faking his leukemia. Leukemia. It did happen, and he did come down with it, and he was able to go film Hobbs and Shaw, which is always weird to me. I know working on the road 5 days a week is different than filming a movie, but you're doing that for however long, 12 hours a day, and his role in it was physical at times. So it always struck me weird that it worked out for him to film Hobbs and Shaw, and plus he miraculously recovered right in time when WWE needed him for ratings. But I honestly don't believe that he would do that or WWE would stoop that low, but he did a real big interview with this site called Leukemia Care, so check it out. It's real lengthy, so I didn't want to get into it, and he addressed the leukemia, how hard it is, things that people don't know, and about the fans saying he faked it. So check that out on Leukemia Care. We and the world reported that Stacy Cantazzaro left the WWE. Her man is Ricochet, if you didn't know, and he just did an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he was asked about it. He replied that she's still with the company, she's not retired at all, and she's not injured. It's a tough sport, and we're all hurting, but there's nothing wrong with her. Like, that's fucking insane. That's her man. That's a dude she sleeps with every night. They asked if she would return to the ring, and he replied that she is very family-oriented, and she does not like the road. She wants to be around her family. And he said that she wants to have children also. So you can expect her to be taking a lot of time off, and when Ricochet has days off and we're together, they're going to start making some babies. So congratulations to you both. But that's just so weird about what happened, what you heard, and then he just says that. CM Punk was blown away when he found out that WWE stars are now getting vacation time. Some of them are actually getting weekends off. Honeymoons, what have you. Seth and Becky Rollins actually had time off to go to a baseball game, and CM Punk couldn't help himself. He retweeted at it, vacations, and did a crazy face. So, that's pretty cool. Good for them. They need a break, man. They work almost 300 days a year, or like 300 something or 290 something. It's crazy. For the first time ever, Johnny Gargano, Thomas Ciampa, and Candice LeRae will come to Evolve Wrestling in New York City for meet and greets with the fans at 2 events later this month. DIY and LeRae will be in the house at Evolve 135, taking place on September 20th in Brooklyn, and Evolve 136 happening Saturday, September 21st in Queens. Pricing and information for the meet and greets can be found at wwnlive.com. I love that WWE is working with another promotion. They need to do it a lot more. I feel it's going to be a big factor with their Wednesday Night Wars. You know, AEW is willing to work with a lot of people, and fans like us want to see your favorite stars from other promotion actually show up on your fucking show or show up on your pay-per-view and to see them fight with your stars from that promotion. WWE needs to open the doors and do that a lot more, because that will help them keep an edge in the wars. If not, it could be a determinative factor. Mark my words. It has been revealed that Linda McMahon will once again make a huge donation. This time it is to the Donald Trump election for 2020. She loves politics, and she knows Trump will give her a sweet job again if she donates that money. Now, as I reported, Vince McMahon has been trying to get Trump to come on SmackDown when they go live on Fox, but Trump is going to decline. Now that Linda made this huge donation, and when Trump is in the election running again in 2020, next year, you know he's going to appear on WWE TV again, so that's cool. I love Donald Trump. Hey, I don't judge anybody, don't judge me. He's the man. The WWE Draft is back, and the dates are confirmed. They will have a draft, and it will carry over 2 nights. The dates are October 11th and October 14th. Now, I see why they're doing it, because Raw and SmackDown are now run by Heyman and supposedly Bischoff. I just hope they make the draft stick, that they stay on the rosters. No superstar shakeup or any of that other bullshit. For pay-per-views or special feuds, once in a while I can understand, but if not, stay on your own show. Also, it has been revealed that NXT stars will be called up to the draft, to the main roster. So expect some of your current NXT favorites, factions, storylines, what have you, just getting broken up, and they're getting called up. So it's going to happen. Undisputed needs to get called up already. So does the Velveteen Dream and Shayna Baszler. I mean, come on. And then everybody always worries, oh, what's NXT going to do without them? It happened every time. Look at everybody before it. Finn Balor, I can just go on and on. They replace, they do fine. They got to give the peeps the call up they deserve. X-Impact knockout, and a woman with the fattest ass in the world, if you ask me. Scarlett Bordeaux has been spotted at a WWE tryout. I hope she gets a job. That woman is Fine. Vince McMahon is plucking employees from his WWE headquarters and giving them new positions in the XFL. Plus, tons of writers are being switched to different shows backstage, so it's an uproar still. Dave Batista has legit been trying to get into the Gears of War game in the past. Well, he and his fans will be very happy. He announced a few days ago that he will be in the Gears of 5 multiplayer. He wanted to play as Marcus Phoenix in the Gear movies for years. He's been asking after the company. So if this does good, which it will, if they do make a Gears movie, which they're gonna, he could get the lead role. You never know. Or he'll definitely be in it, because he is a big action star. But if you bought Gears of War, bought it pre-owned, or you get it from like the Game Pass, if you play from now until the end of September, you do get Dave Batista free. And it's actually like if you play a game and they have different outfits or skins for the person, Marcus Phoenix, his second skin or outfit is Dave Batista. But you can only get it for free if you play from now to the end of September. In a post on their Instagram, ex-WWE superstars Crime Time threw out a challenge to the Young Bucks. I guess they're looking for a job again. It would be dope to see that. We've seen them a lot here at the AEW Insider. They're at tons of indie events, WrestleCon, what have you. And I won't lie, JGT, whatever the fuck his name is, he looks nothing like he did before. That dude is built like a brick shithouse, and his partner is too. So it would be good if they got a shot to make some of that good money. As I reported last week, Ric Flair has filed for the copyright of the wrestling name, well, the term The Man. He claims he has been using it since '81, which he has. It has caused a rift between his daughter and his daughter Charlotte and him. They're fighting. Plus, he said he will let WWE use it for Becky Lynch or whatever if they pay him. He wants to make sure he makes some cash to keep his family good while he's gone. Also, he said that he will take legal action if he and WWE do not come to terms on using the term "the man." Already, he and Triple H got into a heated argument backstage and it didn't go well. So we got to stay tuned to see what the hell happens with that shit. Fans felt that Corey Graves took a shot at Chris Jericho on SmackDown. This is what he said on a broadcast. Graves stated, "I'm sure he'll celebrate and take a limousine to a chain restaurant." Not talking about Jericho, but about a different wrestler, probably the 24/7 title. Hours after the show, Graves clarified on Twitter that it wasn't a shot at Jericho. He wrote the following. And then after that, fans took to social media too. He said to them, "Dear Internet, you'll know when I take a shot. I hate to burst your bubble, but sometimes a friend can make a joke about a friend. You should try it. It's a lot of fun." Kurt Angle took to social media to praise Chad Gable. And the job he's done so far. Kurt Angle predicts Gable will win King of the Ring. I have been a Gable mark for a long time, and I hope he gets proper push. He's not going to win King of the Ring, but he is going to be big. Speaking of Shorty G, it has come to light that gimmick, Shorty G, might not be for Chad Gable after all. Rumors are saying it could be for Liv Tyler. As we know, she's supposed to be getting a new gimmick, and her real name is like Gianna or something like that. So we'll see who gets the Shorty G surname. This happened years ago when Brodus Clay was in wrestling. He was supposed to do the Hall of Pain, the House of Pain, and it wound up giving to Mark Henry. We see where Mark Henry went again, and we see where Brodus Clay went. He's on Fox News getting sexual harassment charges, sending dirty pics to chicks. True story. We covered it in the past. And while I'm not going to cover SmackDown and Raw too much this week because I did it on a podcast, make sure you check the podcast out on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Breaker Radio, Anchor, what have you. WWE has made a very weird decision, if you ask me, but then I think about it, maybe not. Their first 2 episodes of NXT that are going live for 2 hours, the first episode of each, the first hour, will be on WWE, and the second hour will be on USA Network for the first 2 weeks. I thought that was totally stupid, but it kind of makes sense. Like us true diehard fans, we know it. We're going to stay tuned. We know where to go. Other people who tune in and out or new, they want to make sure they say, hey, this is the first hour here, but remember in 2 weeks, or this is the last week that we're going to be on the WWE Network. We're going to be on USA from now on. So that's probably why they're doing it, and that makes sense to me. When I first read about it, I found it very weird. While Raw left a few peeps go unscripted, how I said some people didn't follow the script, rehearsals for NXT Live have begun backstage. With it being 2 hours, they're even bringing in more writers, and things are going to be heavily scripted. As we previously reported, WWE actually gave superstars some room to flex their creative muscle last week, and a couple of segments weren't tightly scripted as they would have been in the past. But now when they go to TV, expect it heavily scripted. I just hope it's done right. If so, it'll be awesome. If not, it's going to be fucking like pulling teeth. It'll be horrible. Of course, on the other side, AEW is letting the wrestlers just go out and do what they want besides bullet points. And we see how well that works. That's how it should be. All right, I always pick a match of the week. You can check it out on the AEW Insider, the #1 on Twitter, or AEW Insider on Facebook. The match of the week this week is Joey Janela versus Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy. It's an indie match from a while back, and it's totally kick-ass. So check it out on the AEW Insider. Now on to some Ring of Honor news. It looks like Ring of Honor is tightening their reins after the working relationship with TNA or NWA did stop. They are not allowing any of their talent to appear at any conventions, any signings, what have you. A lot of their talent wanted to go to Starcast 3, but they were stopped by the higher-ups. For example, Flip Gordon was denied going to Starcast 3. He even booked again through a third party, and he was denied twice. There were other big names, but they have not been revealed yet. Ring of Honor champion Matt Taven's contract expires at the end of September. Unless Ring of Honor offers him a huge amount of money, I can't see him staying, honestly. He's going to go with AEW or WWE. And actually, we met him about 3 weeks ago at a live event in our town, and I asked him to cut a promo for the channel. He said he would, but we're the AEW insider, and it wouldn't look good if he's the Ring of Honor champion. But he said in a couple months when he signs a contract, he would. Swear on anything, it's on our YouTube channel. Look for the Matt Taven AEW signing video. Check it out. It's crazy. All right, Impact Wrestling. Rob Van Dam has extended his contract with Impact. It was supposed to end at Bound for Glory, but now he'll be working with them at least until January, and then they'll talk about re-signing for some more back then. He's really happy with them. New Japan Pro Wrestling. They just had their Royal, whatever it was, Royal Cup or whatever it was, pay-per-view. Their pay-per-views are the best. Like I say, they go a month long usually. They're the friggin' bomb. And a shocking surprise to me, Robbie Eagles, Bullet Club member, turned on my boys, the Bullet Club, and joined Chaos. Him and his new best friend forever, Will Ospreay, are now the Birds of Prey. And now those two have their eyes on the Bullet Club's IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. I love Ospreay and Eagles, but they don't need to fuck with my boys. But those guys are going to make one sick team. Zack Sabre Jr. lost his shit. He lost his British heavyweight championship to Tanahashi. And ex-NXT star Kenta is the new never openweight champion. So a lot of belts were exchanged at that last pay-per-view for New Japan. Now into some crazy news real quick. Former WWE Diva contestant and TNA wrestler Raka Khan is on the run from police. Crime Stoppers of El Paso have included her name, her real name, I don't want to say, but her wrestling name, Raka Khan, on El Paso's most wanted fugitives list. She has been charged with interference with child custody, and Crime Stoppers is requesting that anybody with information call this number. If you do, you could be eligible for a cash reward. Her wrestling career started promisingly as a 2005 WWE Diva contestant. That's the year Ashley Mazzaro won, God rest her soul. She received a developmental contract but was released in 2006. She didn't give up on a wrestling dream. She would go work for TNA from 2008 to 2009, but her career became derailed after being suspended for a backstage incident with Roxy Laveau. After it claimed she worked too stiff. So Roxy said she worked too stiff. They got into a fight and she got fired. Also during this time, she dated Kurt Angle. Things would end badly when she filed for a PFA from Kurt Angle, and she later would withdraw the PFA. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Tito Ortiz and ex-WWE champion Alberto Del Patron or Del Rio, they did a promo together. They're going to be fighting in a cage with each other, which is going to be sick because Tito's all right, but we know he loses a lot. Well, he did. And Alberto is a beast, so I don't know, man. I think I'll some cage match in Mexico or some shit, and they cut their promo and they did it like a wrestling promo, and it came off so fucking bad. And finally, ex-WWE star Enzo Amore did an interview recently, and he talked about patching things up with Big Cass and being on the indies. What he said was that everybody knows him and Big Cass were in that match. Big Cass did something to his leg. He was injured. He literally couldn't finish the match. Instead of finishing the match like most wrestlers do, he had to get carried to the back. Enzo shit on him to his face, shit on him on Twitter, and said, if you can't finish the match, you got to get carried to the back. You're not a G. I'm not fucking with you. They didn't talk until a couple months ago. Now they're back together. I seen them a couple weeks ago. I got them on my videos too. They're good to go. He said that they drive down the road, and he told Cass that they're like a Willie Nelson song. They're on the road again, and that song came on the radio. He said, this is us, right? He said, so it's just fun. I'm meeting a whole new group of wrestlers and talking to these guys, and I'm enjoying myself. It's freedom at its finest. So that's good, man. I'm telling you, indies aren't like they used to be. They're the spot to be anymore, especially if you got a name behind you. All right, peeps, I'm sorry for talking your ear off. Like I said, there was some stuff on the podcast, but there was a lot of news thrown in at you. I got this green screen working, so if you see stuff in the background, you know I got it working. It's only Friday night. This video is probably not going to be out till sometime Saturday because I'm going to edit it from my computer instead of my cell phone. So I'm going to keep trying to improve and getting better for you guys. If you want everything all WWE, definitely check out my boy Tutu on Jabber Jabber Wrestling Universe. And please show us some love. Join our Facebook group. We got the WFW fan group and the AEW Insider on Facebook. We got dope videos on YouTube, the AEW Insider. And on Twitter, it's the AEW Insider #1. So definitely check that out. All right, as always, I'm your host, Lee Benz. I will be back in a couple of days with our new Movies and More episode. I did watch the Wu-Tang Clan series, the first 3 episodes. I'm going to watch a movie tonight, and I'm hoping to see it. So I will be back with a bunch of stuff this week for you guys. All right, peeps, I'm talking your ear off as always. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benz. Show us some love online. This is the AEW Insider, and ciao, peeps.